Hey everybody, it's Ron from All Things Ron. How's everybody doing? I've got a little bit of a different video in this one. What I want to do is I want to introduce you to my spreadsheet that I have developed to help me keep track of my budget items and kind of go through it with you so you can kind of understand my process that I went through to make the spreadsheet. And if you would like a copy of this spreadsheet, I would be glad to send it to you after you've watched this video, because there's a few things that I need to tell you about this spreadsheet and how to use it. So let's stay tuned and I'll show you the spreadsheet in just a second. Alrighty, up on the screen is the spreadsheet, okay? And it looks complicated, but it really isn't, okay? I'm not a complicated guy, so if I could do this, you could do this. But this is going to help me kind of keep up through the month. As I purchase things, I'm able to put those into the proper categories and kind of keep up with my spending for the month. Now, this is not really a budgeting spreadsheet. This is more like keeping track of your expenses, but it could be used for budgeting purposes, okay? So what I want to do first is, this is in Microsoft Excel, first thing I wanted to tell you. And I developed this spreadsheet using Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft Excel gives you the capability to protect cells. And I've got a lot of cells in here that have formulas, calculated formulas. And if you was to happen to go in and erase one of those, you might mess up the spreadsheet. So if it will work best. The cells will be protected and it will work fine, and you will not be able to enter data directly into the cells that are colored on the screen right now. You have to do those from another sheet that I have set up for each month, and I'm going to show you that right now. I don't want to confuse you, but I may because sometimes I confuse myself. Let's start by looking at the bottom of the workbook, okay? And you'll see that the first sheet is called Summary. And what that is a summary of the details from each month sheet. After the summary sheet, you'll see October, you'll see November, December, January, so forth and so on. I'm going to go back to October and I'm going to scroll all the way to the top. You'll notice that the titles to these sections is yellow, okay? That corresponds to the summary sheet. Let's go back over and look at that real quick. And if you'll notice, groceries is yellow, okay? So if I go over to October and I look at groceries, the boxes that are not colored, you can change. You can put data in there. So I've already put two of my grocery visits for October in my spreadsheet. And the total is $314.34. It's a different color, but that's a protected cell. You cannot enter directly in there. If you try to click in there, I'm clicking now, nothing happens. You can only enter data in the white cells. Remember, this cell protection only works in Microsoft Excel. If you're using Google Sheets, you will not have, the cells will not be protected. So be careful. Do not enter any data into the colored cells, okay? If you're using LibreOffice, LibreOffice does recognize Excel protection, okay? And I have LibreOffice, which is an open source, free software, and it's really great stuff, okay? A friend of mine turned me on to it, and it's really a cool product. It's got Word, it's got Excel, and it's got presentation, or like a PowerPoint. The only thing it doesn't have is Outlook. Anyways, back to the spreadsheet here. So if I go to the summary sheet for October, you'll notice the column here. It's got $314.34. So that's corresponding to what you have entered over here on this sheet. Okay, so these are the details, and this is the summary. Each month has its own detailed section, okay? And I'm going through the months right now, showing you them. And they all tie back over into the main sheet where you have October, November, December, January, what have you, okay? And the idea is to have this so you can kind of keep up with it for a whole year, and then possibly go back and kind of reflect on your budget and what have you. Now, I suppose if you were planning for retirement and you were wanting to see how much you're spending now, then yeah, you could use a spreadsheet for that too. So I call it a budgeting spreadsheet. It's an expense spreadsheet, whatever you want to call it, okay? If you'll notice, and I'm going to go is, notice that the word income is in green. That doesn't mean anything. It's insignificant. It's just a way to separate that from some of the other words. So we have income and then we have expenses. So let's say, for example, in October, your income is $5,000. So you put that in directly right here. There is no detailed sheet, or there is no detailed column in the month for that. So in other words, in this summary sheet, the blue cells are calculated on another sheet and brought over for you automatically. All the other cells that are white, those you can enter the data directly. And I did that because, like for example, mortgage and rent, well, unless you got two houses, you've only got one item to put in there. So, if your mortgage was $600 a month, and you put in there $600 a month, and it puts it in there just like that. But if you'll notice here, you cannot put any data. It will not let you put anything in the blue cells. The same with the yellow cells. They're locked also. They correspond to the details on the month, okay? So let's look like here, like household items, for example, $27.39. What's that? We'll go over here and look. October, we bought a crock pot. My wife wanted a smaller crock pot. We bought a crock pot at Walmart yesterday. So as you can see, that's kind of how it works. The greens and the beiges are nothing but a way to separate those so you can read them easier. Anything in this beige color or peach color is a subtotal. These are subtotal for living expenses, subtotal for health, subtotal for other items, and then subtotal for additional items. And then you have a total expenses. So as long as you're using Microsoft Excel, you will not run into any problems here. But if you're going to use Google Sheets, you need to be careful, very careful, that you do not enter any data into the colored cells. Those are calculated cells, okay? If you break it, then you got to get a hold of me and ask me what the formula was. The formulas are pretty simple, so if you're used to spreadsheets, you can actually go click on the formulas and look at them. Like for example, I'm clicking on subtotal for living expenses. Well, all it says is add up B11 through B26. That's it. It's a simple formula. But if you go look at the blue cells, they're a little more complex. They're actually pulling data from another sheet. So for example, groceries for October is coming from October 2025 sheet B12. So if I go over to October 2025 and look at B12, this is the subtotal, that's where it's getting its data from. You'll enter the details here. The subtotal will be carried over to the summary sheet, just like that, okay? I have not set these sheets up for you to print them or anything like that, okay? It would print out kind of weird, okay? So I just wanted to let you know that. I have given some minimal instructions on the summary sheet at the bottom here, and I explained this all to you there. So this spreadsheet works best with Excel. The spreadsheet has locked formula cells that are calculated automatically. Google Sheets may not show the locked cells, so be careful not to enter any data into any of the colored cells. The colored boxes on this sheet cannot and should not be changed directly. You will need to use one of the monthly sheets to enter the data, and it will be carried over to this summary sheet for you. The boxes colored in peach are subtotal cells and are calculated automatically. The boxes in blue are carried over from the monthly sheets. The green boxes are just for clarity. The cells that are colored are locked so that you don't make a mistake and mess up the formulas. You can only enter data in the white boxes unless you unprotect the sheets. Now, if you are spreadsheet savvy, then you can do this on your own. And if you break the formulas, I'll try to help you re-enter them, but I cannot give you the spreadsheet again because it will mess up all your data that you put in there. Once you have this spreadsheet and you start using it, then I cannot really, you don't really want to, unless you want to start all over again. You can each month. You can just, restart over each month if you want to. I only had about 4 months in here, or 3 months in the beginning, but some of the other people that have beta tested for me so far, they said, well, why don't you have the whole year in there? So I went ahead and filled the whole year up, okay, for this spreadsheet. If you want to unprotect this spreadsheet so you can enter stuff in the colored cells, which I would suggest you don't. But if you're spreadsheet savvy and you understand all this stuff, then what you do is you go up to data. Is it data? No, it's not data. It's review, and you click on the word protect spreadsheet and take these defaults right here that I've got set up for it. Now, the summary spreadsheet is locked. So look right here. You see the little lock icon in summary. Now, so if you go to data, I'm sorry, not data. If you go to review, you can unprotect the spreadsheet. Now you're able to make some changes to these cells, okay, if you want to. You notice it's highlighting them. But once I protect that sheet, there's no password on it. I didn't put a password on it. Once I hit protect, don't put a password in there because you'll mess your sheet up or you'll forget your password. Now you cannot even click on the colored boxes. See that? I'm not able to click anywhere except the white boxes. So I hope this kind of clears it up for you. And if you would like a copy of this spreadsheet for yourself and you want to try it out, I'm out of beta testing right now. This is going to be, if I give it to you, it's yours to play with, okay? Then send me an email. I'll put my email in the description of this video, and you send me an email and I will send you this sheet, okay? Anyways, I hope that clears things up, and give it a try. I'm working on October already, okay? I've already got some data in there. Here's one thing. I'm going to give you a pro tip. We go to Walmart Supercenter. When we go to Walmart, we buy a lot of different things besides groceries, okay? So what I do is when I'm checking out, we check out all the groceries first, and then at the very end of the tape, at the very end of the checkout process, we'll check out the other things that are not groceries. That way, when I get home, I can look at my receipt and mark on there what was not groceries so I can separate it out, like categories. And yesterday, we bought some things at Walmart. We spent $201 in groceries, $27.39 for a crock pot, $13.72. I can't remember what that was for, but I put it under hobbies. And then we also had pet care. So pet care does not have details. It's over on the summary sheet. Care is down here at the bottom, and you'll see it's a white box. So I just put the amount we spent for pet care yesterday in that box. Okay, if you buy, that was for the cat, for kitty. We bought cat food and canned cat food for her. She's pretty much set for the month. But what I was going to say is, if you have to go more than once, for example, for pet care, like you buy bird seed for your backyard birds or whatever, then you just have to add it up manually and change the total here in the white box, because I don't have a running total. I only took the important things. If you'll notice and study this a little bit, the things that could have multiple items throughout the month, those are the ones I took. Grocery visits, buying household items, home repair cost, gasoline, okay, at the gas station, personal hygiene items, like makeup and toothpaste and all that kind of junk. It's things you might buy through the month. You might go to the dollar store and get it. Of course, hobbies, vacation, and then miscellaneous, the almighty miscellaneous category, okay? Anyways, here you go. This is it. And good luck, okay? Hope it helps you with your budgeting, your expense tracking, and what have you. I did work on this quite a bit. I was doing everything on a piece of paper, okay? And I thought, geez, I think I could do better than this and make it a little more automated. So give it a try. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. See ya. Bye-bye.